Hey there, welcome to Hermit Haven. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jackie. We're so excited to invite you into our safe space. Hermit Haven is like a cozy little hideout where we can celebrate being confident in ourselves as we find happiness in quiet moments.
So grab your favorite blanket and your favorite drink, and let's dive into today's episode.
Hi, welcome back to Hermit Haven. I'm Jackie.
Hi, I'm Ashley. We're so excited to have you. This week, we're going to be chatting about a time glow up. And that sounds so fancy, but really, we're just talking about when you think you should change kind of like what you're already doing. I feel like so many times we feel so stuck because we have to continue to do the same thing. But who told you how to do the same thing?
Yeah, this is like my life story in an episode. Me changing up my schedule and how I manage like my tasks. And we're going to talk more detail next week about things that really have helped me a lot. So I feel like if there's someone that could talk about this, it's probably us. And I'm not saying that we're experts. I'm saying that we are two people that in the past, like, really needed like focus on how to kind of get more done because our squirrel brains are so squirrely. So if you don't have a squirrel brain, then you're like in an even better place than where we are. We're starting we're like done here. We're like working our way up. But I feel like we both have found different things that work for us. And so next week we'll talk more about that. But yeah, this week I mean, seasons change, right? Like we just went from summer where we just had totally open schedule to now we're in school. My kids were just home the past week because they were sick. So like it just changes so often. And I know that we have certain things that we like want to get done. And I think like overall, I just want to talk on this episode about how as seasons change, like you kind of just have to be able to pivot a little bit and be flexible with your days, and you can still get done the things that you want to get done. But like we're going to talk again, like we talked last week about prioritizing and all that.
Yeah. I think so many times, like, we don't give ourselves grace for wanting to try something new or even going to then try that something new. I think so many times we think, oh, well, this worked last season, so it has to work this season, or this is what I was told how I have to do it, so I have to do it this way. And I think so many times, or I think too, we think we have this like mental time block where we're like, well, if I do this differently, maybe I won't get as much done. Or if I do it differently, maybe I won't meet the same goal as I was kind of meeting, but maybe this will be faster. I don't know. Like, I feel like so many times it's just like that thought of, I don't know. Right. And I feel like this is why we talk about this so much. So if you would literally called me or Jackie at any time in any week, I think it's like every couple weeks. I would say maybe give us like 2-3 weeks. We're like, okay, so I was having this new idea about my schedule and I was thinking that we should and that's just how we are though. We realize and I think that's like what's so powerful is like we know and we're able to pivot, but I know it's so hard for so other people not to be able to pivot. And so I know how helpful it is for Jackie and I to talk about that too, right? Like we talk about it so many times that like I never feel alone when I'm like trying to make this big decision, like, should I like not do this today? And I
Yeah.
feel like we all need a bestie to hold us sometimes for this because it's a hard decision. Like, how do I know when it's time to change my schedule and how do I pivot to do it?
I think like the two of the hardest things for me is like there's so many different ways that you can go about like task management, right? Like different, you could do it on paper, you could do it online. Like there's so many different types and ways and setups and all the things that it gets so overwhelming that you're like, I don't even know what will work for me. And like I feel like I said, gonna wait for next week, but I do feel like I found something that has been working really well. And I also am guilty of putting way too many tasks on my list and thinking that I can get them done because in my head I truly do not, unless it's like a workout or something. I don't really know how long a lot of tasks take. Like I know that that sounds crazy, but like my brain can't comprehend
Yes.
how long it will take me, right, to do a certain task. And so it sometimes is hard and I put too many tasks because I think like, oh, I can get all this done. And then when I don't, then I feel bad about myself because I didn't get it all done. But it's like if I would have known how long those took, which is probably something that I should do, is sit and
I've
like,
been wanting to do that
yeah.
forever. Is so I literally and I've been. I think we need to talk about this more in the next episode because I feel like this is like
I need
exactly
to
what we're
write this
talking.
down while we're talking about it. Go ahead.
But I've been wanting to do that forever too, is like write down how long it takes or like set a goal at least. Cause I feel like sometimes like you don't know how long it's going to take. But if you say like, okay, well, I'll give myself 15 minutes. And then like, let's say you only have two more things to do, then you finished it anyway. You're not going to like stop at 15 minutes and have two more things to do unless you're like me and you start projects and never end them. Cause that happens a lot too, just saying, but it's besides the point. But I think too, another thing is like, why would you need to revamp your schedule? Maybe you're not getting enough joy out of your schedule,
Yeah.
right? Like you're spending too much time doing too many tasks, right? Like we're saying, you're putting too many tasks on your plate, but where are the joyful tasks, right? The to-do list will, oh, I'm going to say this, and this might not sound, the to-do list will always be there, even when you die. It will never end.
Yeah.
I, literally, you'll never ever not have one piece of dirty clothes in your house. Like that would be like insane. Like you would have to be like butt naked in your living room doing laundry to have, and you would have literally that would be the only way you have clean clothes. Like it's never gonna end, right? The kids are always gonna need you, right? Your partner is always gonna need you, but you need yourself first. And so if you feel like you're giving too much time to other people, or you're giving too much time to the to-do list, or you're giving too much time to me yesterday, I want to admit that I spent over. So there's this new AI trend, and it is like Black Mirror, where it's super freaky, and you're putting yourself with like whatever. It's super
Like
freaky, but
Photoshop,
I took a
right?
picture of how much time I spent doing it yesterday, just to admit to all of you that I wasted my entire time doing this. I spent 2 hours and 28 minutes, and I am so embarrassed by that, right? I need to revamp my schedule. That was terrible. That was not the proper way of using my time, right? So maybe that's what you need to do. Do you guys want to know how much time I spent on TikTok yesterday? Just while we're already at it. 3 hours and 26 minutes.
Just
I need
outing
to
yourself
revamp my
right now.
schedule here. Okay? That's my point, is sometimes you don't realize where you're putting your time, and you're not getting actual joy out of it. It's just wasting like, it's just in the
I
moment joy.
know.
It's not long-term joy.
Social media is a whole other a whole other episode about, is my internet going really slow right now? Sorry, I thought my hand was like going really weird. Okay, anyway, sorry. That's a whole other episode about how we think that we're getting joy out of social media. And this relates because we think that spending some time sitting scrolling, and granted, I'm not saying social media is bad. I'm one of those people that like, I think there's so much good in social media. And I'm probably one of the few people that would say that, because I think everyone's like, social media is terrible. It's not. It's just that you do use a lot of time, and we think that we're getting joy out of it, but really we're like disassociating from all the things that we have to do by sitting on social media scrolling. Like,
Mhm.
I'm just being real. That's just the truth of it.
Yeah,
That's why we're on social media.
we're temporarily numbing ourselves and temporarily
Yeah.
entertaining ourselves. And then, like, I feel like if you spend too much time, the effects are so bad. Like, I feel like you can't calm down your brain afterwards. Your brain is like, I need more. I need more.
Okay, so while we're on the topic of time, last week, what was it? I think it was Thursday and Friday. I can't remember which days it was, but I told Ashley, I was like, I need to get off my phone. Like, I need to get off social media. I didn't delete my apps because I wanted to have the willpower, right? But I did put a limit just for the day. I put a 1 minute limit on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And granted, I could go in there and say I need more time. I could go in there, but I didn't. I was like very strict with myself. And I swear to you, like, not only did I obviously get more done, but my creativity has been flowing. My joy has been more. I'm like, oh, wait, I do have the time for all these things. And I'm finding joy. And that's like, this is like a whole other episode. I'm finding joy from actual things in my real life rather than trying to just find joy from like the scrolling and the social media, like those dopamine hits. But I'm just saying that we have more time than we think, and we just have to know where it's going. And it's okay to scroll. It's
Mhm.
okay. I get ideas from TikTok and recipes, and it's not bad to be on there. It's just knowing where your time is being
Yeah,
spent.
where you're I feel like, and so we talked about a lot about this last episode. Like we talked about like identifying like how your time is being used per the day. But in this episode, we want to talk even more about like how you like why you would need to change your schedule, right? So last episode we talked about you need to track your time. And I know that sounds harder than it is. And let's be honest, I don't know like if I can do it for 24 hours, right? But like just a general breakdown, like maybe when you're writing your journal, right? this morning I didn't not, right? And this was helpful, this was not, right? Just make notes. I think so many times we forget we can take notes on our own
Yeah.
life, right? We think notes taking is just for school. It's not. Like note taking is for anything and everything. Take notes if you want to remember something. And that's like the biggest key. So take notes how you feel, right? If you're doing something and you're like, this doesn't make me feel good, write a note down. Say, I spent 20 minutes watching a movie. It made me feel terrible afterwards. Make that note, right? Like that's what's right. And then that's the first key. Once you, okay, so we tracked our time, we know where our time is going, we now know how we're feeling with our time. Next week, we want to talk about, like we said, what we're going to do to change that up because it's so important to realize that your time needs to glow up. Your time needs to be revamped once in a while. It's okay too. It's okay to say what was working last season is not working this season, or maybe it's a similar season, right? Like let's say last winter your kids did the same sports they're doing this winter, but now they're a different age, so they need different stuff. Or maybe they're a different age and they need less stuff. So it's still going to change even if it looks similar. So how do you navigate even the small changes, not the big changes?
Actually a really good topic because I think like as a mom, I know sometimes I feel guilty of like not doing enough sports for my kids or just outside activities or doing, you know, being nervous to do too many because that really it takes up a lot of time. And you don't have like if you are that person like I have friends that just love like being at all the sports and doing all the things and if that brings you joy, do it. And this is just on topic, but like if it doesn't, then it's okay to also not do it. And so the things that bring you joy are obviously going to be different from someone else's, but I think sometimes we just don't like think about it and we're like, but it's for the kids, so I have to do it. But like you don't have to do it. Like you don't have to. If you love it, then cool. I don't love bringing my kids to swim lessons. I'm gonna be honest. They have to go. Well, Gavin doesn't. He knows how to swim, but Pierce has to go. Like he needs to learn how to swim. It's very important. But when I go there, it's loud and there's all the things and like it stresses me out so much. And so if I didn't have to do it, I'm telling you right now, like I just wouldn't do it. But I know that. And so like those are the things you have to know when you're looking through, you know, your week and like what can we revamp? Maybe we don't need to be doing all these sports. Maybe we do like one sport or we do something else. I don't
Yeah.
know, as a family, something else.
I think too, right? So if this is something that's going to be overwhelming, what you're about to do, and you have to do it, right? It's a responsibility. And I think that's something we teach our children too. Like going to school is a responsibility for yourself, right? This is a responsibility I'm doing for you, whatever it is, right? Maybe it's creating a pocket of time beforehand to relax. It's a pocket of time to like, right? I think so many times we think that we have to relax after, right? Or like, but maybe because we're not taking time for ourselves before we go do the activity that we don't really want to do,
Yeah.
then that's what's really causing that burnout, right? We're not prepping enough, right? And so I think that's part of that time revamp is saying, well, this is stressing me out. Or every time I go to work, you know, I feel like I'm rushing to walk in the door and put my stuff down. I don't want to start. Right. And so maybe you need more time to do XYZ beforehand. And maybe it's not the day of, maybe it's the day before, right? Maybe you say, hey, I want more time with my kids. Maybe when I pack their lunch, I pack my lunch.
Yeah. There's a lot of I've been shuffling a lot of things around like that. Like, okay, like does it make sense for me to do this at this time of day or can I do it at a different time of day? Just like you said, because in the mornings it used to feel so rushed. And I was like, why am I always rushing? Well, I'm probably not doing the right there's different things I could be doing in the morning or less things so that I can feel more like I don't want to be in a bad mood in the mornings when I'm bringing my kids to school. Like, come on, kids, gotta get in the car. Like we're always rushing. Like I don't like that. It stresses them out. Anyway, so that just is like our entire day of feeling like we're rushing and just knowing, like Ashley said, like what's going on throughout your day. Maybe you can take those tasks and put them at a different time. Maybe you can take them and put them on a different day or split them up or something so that you're not feeling as rushed and stressed. Like that's the point of like this entire series is let's feel less stressed and less rushed and having those when people schedule their days, they forget to put those time buffers in there. They forget. I mean, I forget because I'm like, oh no, I'll just go from one thing to the next, and then you feel burnt out by the end of the day. And so by having like front loading that time in the beginning of the activity, like okay, swim is coming up. I know I'm going to be stressed. Let me make sure I get my headphones so that I the noise level is not as bad. Let me make sure like I take a CBD gummy so that I'm not as stressed out. Like what are the things I need to do before I'm going to this like potentially stressful, you know? So by doing those things, I'm helping myself out, but I'm making time for that. Like I mentally am making time, and maybe you have to write that down because I have to write things like everything down. But it's
Mhm.
so important to help
I
yourself
think
out.
so many times too, as a human, you give your time to so many other things, like, and it's not, and you then drain yourself so hard that you don't have that time for yourself when you need that time for yourself. Because when it gets to that point that you have time for yourself, you just want to take a nap. You just
Yeah.
want to scroll, right? You want to do unhealthy habits because your brain just can't like be like, I can do more. So maybe that's part of that revamping your schedule is saying, well, instead of me always doing the dishes or me always doing this, maybe I can help my kids can help me, or maybe I can teach someone in the house to help me, right? I think so many times we take on so many tasks as women, right? It's like this invisible thing of motherhood. And I think it's even before the invisible load of motherhood. As a woman, it is the invisible load of being a woman. And I think it's what it is, right? It's our natural instinct, but like, tell me there's not a band-aid or some random napkin in your purse. Tell me there's not like some random like thing for your child, like a random snack, like, right? Even if you're not with kids, right? You are always prepared for your friends. You're always prepared where you're going and sometimes, you're type B and you don't have everything together. And that's it just, it depends who you are, right? But I feel like that's the invisible load, right? You're always thinking like, what do I need? What do I got to do? And then you just put so much on your plate. So maybe that's part of that revamp too, is like, how do I split up the tasks that I want to do? Or how do I split up this invisible load of motherhood to make it easier?
Yeah. I also think there's things that like I don't know if we think we're supposed to do them. I don't know how I want to say it, but like for instance, I'll just give an example of what I'm thinking. Like at nighttime, we come in the room, like the boys are in bed. Glenn and I come in here, and he wants to watch TV. I'm not really a TV person. I'm not saying I never watch it. I'm more of a movie person. And even then, I'm kind of picky. I think really it is the noise and the stimulation in my brain. Like over the past years, I've just noticed it is not good for me. And so like I feel like, well, he's in here, we haven't had time together. It's not like we're talking really, we're just watching. And so I feel like I'm supposed to sit here and watch with him. And sometimes I do, but sometimes like I just don't want to do that. That feels draining to me. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, Glenn. It feels draining to me. And so instead, I'm still here next to him, but I'll put like one headphone in with some soothing music and I'm reading and I'm still here next to him and he's watching TV. But do you know what I mean? Like there's things like that even throughout our day that we feel like we're supposed to be doing that drain us. And we can just take
Yeah.
that and be like, no, I'm not going to do that because it doesn't feel good. I'm going to do this instead.
Yeah,
And
I think too, it's so many times we think like this is the great like we're like, okay, I'm gonna make 14 sides of my dinner tonight, even though I only have an hour, right? Because I like in my head I want to like impress my family. Like your family loves you no matter what. Yourself loves you no matter what. Like you don't need to put in the extra time to like do more, right? And I think like you're saying too, like you don't need to put the extra time sometimes to do more than you already are doing.
yeah, if you don't love cooking, don't make meals that are crazy gourmet meals. Like you don't need to be doing that. If it doesn't bring you joy, don't do that. Make a simple sheet pan meal. Like there's so many ways to get around. But yeah, I think I don't know. I think that's kind of like what we wanted to talk about today.
Yeah, I
Do
think so
it?
too. I think at the end of the day, like if you're just jumping into this series, this is only episode two. We're really just wanting to talk about time. Technically, it's like episode three, but two, but there's no actual number on the thing. But if you're just jumping in, last week we talked about how we're using our time and we can be maybe using our time in a way that's different, right? Instead of like sitting in the car and just listening to music, maybe we use that time to learn something new, right? And then this week we want to talk about how our time is being, like why would you need your time to be changed? Like why would you want to change your schedule around? Maybe to make more time, maybe to add more joy, or to add different tasks in, or maybe the way you're doing it is just not making sense, right? You're just taking so much time and you're just drained, or you need that time buffer, you're not adding. So,
Yeah.
and then I think next week we're going to talk a lot about how we go from this idea of what to do with my time, what I'm feeling with my time to, okay, let's go. Let's make a schedule. Let's block out time. Let's run with it. And the way Jackie and I do stuff is going to be completely different, but I think a lot of things are similar. So it'll be fun
Yeah.
to talk with you all.
Oh, there
Oh,
was one more thing
yeah.
that I forgot I wanted to say really quickly. I feel like it goes with this episode better than it'll go. I mean, it goes with all of them. But one thing that we were talking about is when your energy shifts, like
Oh, yeah.
that's a small thing, right? Like it's not like a big thing like summer to school, like that's a big change, but just like an energy shift, right? Like today I'm feeling super anxious or I'm just not feeling myself. And even though I had all this stuff planned, I need to go through and just pick the top level things and just realizing that it's okay to do that. Like on, and sometimes you got to push yourself a little bit. You have to know yourself. Some days I'm like, I'm just kind of like, I'm tired, and I just need to push myself. But other days I'm like, I am so anxious today. I am just not in a good place mentally. And therefore I need to do the bare minimum and just, it's okay. Like it's okay because that's a shift that like sometimes I don't know is coming. Like I could wake up tomorrow and just be super anxious and not know that it's coming. I can't prepare for it. So that's why I need to prepare now for it. Like I mentally know that those shifts happen and it's okay. So on those days, you have a friend maybe or yourself, like write it somewhere. I have Ashley to be like, girl, just chill. Just do the bare minimum. It's going to be okay. It's going to pass. Like, you
Yeah.
know, that's
I
just
totally
I think with
It's funny
women,
'cause
that's like a big one.
I was thinking about this too, and I love how we forgot to say this, even though this is like the first thing we were gonna say. But I think it's honoring yourself, right? How you feel. I think, and it's something I was thinking about because I work with children for the last 20 something years. I think from like a very young age, we have a schedule, right? Like you take a nap at this time, you do this, you do that, right? But what if you're not feeling that, right? Like what if you're not feeling that? And I think we're told like, oh, we have to stay on track with this schedule. And I think we have to break that glass like ceiling, right? And so we have to need to honor our energy. So if your energy is like amazing today and you're like, I'm gonna clean my whole house, I'm gonna like have a whole dance party, don't do too much here. Like don't start a bunch of projects and don't finish them, but follow that energy, right? Do those tasks. But don't forget to take breaks because I feel like when I have all that energy, I forget to take a break and then I burn out, but that's a different story.
Yeah, that was me this past week. I'm like, "Oh, I can do it all," and then I'm like, "Oh, I'm so tired."
But yeah, I think that's so important.
Yeah,
Follow those ups and flows.
yeah, absolutely. You just never know, and you could even have like a little list that's like, on my bare minimum days, the days that I feel my lowest, this is what besides the like having to bring your kids to school, like that kind of normal stuff, like these are the bare minimum things that I want to get done. It's not going to be my whole normal list. It's going to be this little tiny list so that I can feel like I got things done and feel good. Because
Mhm.
that sense of accomplishment is important, like for you as a human. But that little list could be like I read some pages of a book and I emptied the dishwasher, like some little things, right?
Yeah,
And
it could
so
be
anyway, just
it could be more like self-care stuff. We could talk about this more episode too, because I feel like this definitely will connect next episode. But something like too I've heard is where people will take like they'll put on their task list exactly like what type of energy, like if it's a low task and if it's a low energy, high energy task, like energy task. So that way, like on the days where they don't have the energy, they'll just pick on the low energy task.
yeah,
So I think just I feel like that's like the beautiful thing about like humans is how different we are.
yeah, yeah. And we're all at different energies on different days, and
Yeah. We're just
especially women.
we're just humans.
Hormones?
We're just humans trying to survive this world.
Yes. Yes. Well,
Well,
thanks for being here. I'm excited for our next one. I love talking about schedules and planners and getting a new one this week. I just love it. I just think it's like a almost like a passion of mine. Like one of my passions is, I mean, I watch videos about people planning. Like literally it is something that I love. So
me
I'm
too.
excited to talk about it
But
next week.
literally, my whole YouTube is digital planning and Notion. Digital planning and Notion.
And mine's
Love
like
planning.
physical writing. We're very different. We're similar but different. It's fine.
It's fine.
So
Maybe
whether
it's our
you like to
childhoods.
whether you like to plan online, I mean, I do use my calendar too, my Apple Calendar, but whether you like to plan like online or physically, then we're just gonna have lots of tips next week.
We'll have our own little planning party.
Yay.
Love you all. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Thanks for chit-chatting. We'll see you
Share
every
this with
Wednesday.
share this with a friend that needs help with scheduling too, because we all basically do in this life.
We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks for spending time with us today and being part of our Hermit Haven community.
We hope you enjoyed our cozy chat and are inspired to embrace your inner hermit.
Remember, even in the quiet moments, you're never alone on this journey because we are truly all in this together.
So until next time, stay cozy, stay true to yourself, and keep spreading love wherever you go.
Bye for now.
We'll see you next time.